Biogeography, the study of geographic distribution of plants and animals. It is concerned not only with the habitation partners but also with the factors responsible for variation in distribution. Strictly speaking, the biogeography is a branch of biology, but physical geographers have made important contributions, particularly in the study of flora. Biomes. The biome concept was introduced by Clement and Shelford. A distinct ecological community of plants and animals living together in a climate is called a biome. It is a level of organization between the landscape and biosphere. It is the largest geographic biotic unit, and it is named after the dominant type of life forms such as a tropical rainforest and grassland. A biome is composed not only of climax vegetation but also of associated successional communities, persistent subclimax community, fauna and soil. Thus, the biome concept embraces the idea of a community of interaction among vegetation, animal populations and soil. It may be defined as a major region of distinctive plants and animals groups well adapted to the physical environment of its distribution area. The difference in temperature or precipitation determines the type of vegetation that grows in each area. The biome are classified into aquatic and terrestrial biomes. Some of the major terrestrial biomes in the world are tropical rainforest, desert, tropical grasslands, savannas, temperate grassland, temperate deciduous forest, Mediterranean shrub, coniferous forest, chaparral, and tundra biome. The tundra is a polar desert with very low temperature and low precipitation. There are two major types of tundra: Arctic tundra and alpine tundra. The alpine tundra is found high on the mountain. The tundra biome is characterized by a short growing season, low precipitation, and permanently frozen deeper soil called permafrost. The plant life consists of grasses, sedges, and lichen. Reindeer, moss, the trees are absent. Desert biome. The desert are found at altitude position between 15 to 35 north and south of equator and in the rain shadow. The desert have annual precipitation less than 30 centimeter. The low precipitation may be due to high subtropical pressure, the geographical position in a rain shadow, and high elevation. There is a lot of variability in the desert type, with hot desert, cold desert, high elevation desert, and a rain shadow desert. Consequently, there is a great deal of variations in the biodiversity, productivity, and organisms found in different types of desert. Most deserts are very hot. The hot desert generally experiences hot day and cold night. Three types of plants forms here adapt to deserts: a perennial, succulent, and non-succulent. Tropical grassland or savanna biome. The savanna is a grassland with scattered individual trees. The climate is the most important factor in creating a savanna. The savannas, which results from climatic conditions, are called climatic savannas. The savannas that are caused by soil conditions are called edaphic savannas. The savannas are always found in the warm or hot climate where the annual rainfall is between 30 to 50 centimeter per year. The soil are porous, having only a thin layer of nutrition-rich matter called humus. The three major selective forces dominates the evolution of plant trials in savannas: recurring fire, periodic drought, and grazing. There are frequent fires in the savanna, and the dominant vegetation is fire adapted. Temperature grassland. The temperature grassland are characterized as having a grasses as the dominant vegetation. The trees and the large shrub are absent. The temperate grassland have hot summers and cold winters, and the amount of the rainfall is less than in savannas. As in the savanna, the seasonal drought and occasional fires are very important to maintain biodiversity. However, their effect here are not as dramatic in temperate grassland as they are in savannas. The type of grassland communities that develops and the productivity of the grassland depends strongly upon the precipitation. Higher precipitation leads to tall grasses with a high biodiversity of grasses. The tropical rainforest. The tropical rainforest occurs at a low altitude zone near the equator, found between 23.5 degree altitude of equator, and they characterized by high temperature, high rainfall, and greatest diversity of species. The average temperature is between 20 to 25 degrees centigrade and varies little throughout the year. The winter is absent. The annual rainfall exceeds 200 centimeters. The soil is nutrition poor and acidic. The decomposition is rapid, and the soils are subject to heavy leaching. The canopy in a tropic forest is multi-layered and continuous, allowing little light penetration. The dominant plant are penerophyte trees, lianas, and epiphytes. Taiga biome. The taiga biome, a coniferous forest biome or a boreal forest biome, is located at a higher altitude closer to the polar region between 50 degree and 60 degree north altitude, and dominated by a needle-leaved drought tolerant evergreen trees. The winter is long and very cold, and summer is short and cool. The precipitation occurs preliminary in the form of snow, 40 to 100 centimeter annually. The soil is thin, nutrition poor, and acidic. The flora consists mainly of cold tolerant evergreen conifers and needle-like leaves such as a pine, fir, and spruce. The taiga is the largest territorial biomass on Earth. Temperate deciduous forest biome. The temperature deciduous forest consists of trees that loses their leaves every year. The temperate deciduous forest has a temperate climate with moderate temperature that have a distinct seasonal pattern. The temperate climate has 4 seasons of winter, spring, summer, and fall. The precipitation 65 to 130 centimeter is distributed evenly throughout the year. Soil is fertile, enriched, and decaying litter. Chaparral biome. The chaparral is the name applied to the evergreen sclerophyll as a hard-leaved shrub vegetation. The chaparral biome is a shrubland biome of a dense, spiny evergreen shrub found at mid-latitude along the coast where cold ocean currents circulate of spring. The chaparral biome is characterized by mild rainy winters and long, hot, dry summers. The annual precipitation generally falls within the range of 30 to 50 centimeter. General features of some territorial biomes. Tundra biome distribution: Arctic tundra in Arctic region, and alpine tundra on high mountain tops and all altitude. Precipitation 20 to 60 centimeter annually in Arctic tundra. The temperature very low temperature. Desert biome distributions near 30 degree north and south altitude, or at a low latitude in the interior of the continent. Precipitation less than 30 centimeter per year. Temperature maximum temperature in hot desert may exceed 50 degrees centigrade. In cold desert air temperature may fall below minus 30 degrees centigrade. Savanna biome, the distribution, the equatorial and sub-equatorial region. Precipitation average 30 to 50 centimeter annually. Temperature average 24 to 29 degrees centigrade. Savanna biome distribution: equatorial and sub-equatorial region. Precipitation average 30 to 50 centimeter annually. Temperature average 24 to 29 degrees centigrade. Tropical rainforest distribution: equatorial and sub-equatorial region. Precipitation about 200 to 400 centimeter annually. Temperature average 25 to 29 degrees centigrade. Taiga biome distribution: 50 and 60 degree north altitude, 50 to 60 degree north latitude. Precipitation 40 to 100 centimeter annually. Temperature less than 0 degrees centigrade in winter to over 30 degrees centigrade in summer. Climate. The climate is the long-term pattern of weather in a locality, region, or even over the entire globe. The term climate and weather have different meanings. Weather is the short-term property such as a temperature, pressure, moisture of atmospheric condition for a specific place and time. weather different both spatially and temporally. Two of the most important factors determining an area climate are air temperature and precipitation. The climate of the region will determine which plant will grow there and which animal will inhabit it. We can describe climate patterns on two scales: macroclimate pattern on the globe, regional and local level, and the microclimate, which represents the climatic conditions in the area of limited size, such as immediate surroundings of plants and animals. The microclimate generally refers from the prevailing region climatic conditions. For example, in a forest, dense foliage reduces the amount of light reaching the ground. This also results in the change air temperature profile in the forest. Climatic zone. The climatic zone represents any of the geographical zone, the region on the surface of the earth loosely divided accordingly to latitude or longitude, loosely divided according to the prevailing climate and latitude. Based on the variations in mean temperature along latitude, the climatic zone or one tropical 0 to 20 degrees latitude to subtropical 20 degree to 40 degree latitude. 3 temperate 40 degree to 60 degree latitude. And 4 Arctic and Antarctic 60 degree to 80 degree latitude. The mean temperature declines as we move from tropical to Arctic region. A similar climatic zonation occurs with increasing altitude in the mountain. A mountain located in the tropical region will successively have a tropical, subtropical, temperate and alpine zones with increasing altitude. Within each temperature-based climatic zone, the annual precipitation, rainfall, and or snowfall varies considerably. Island biography. Biography is the study of geographical distribution of species and the reason for their pattern of distribution. The ecologists Robert MacArthur and Evo Wilson proposed the equilibrium theory of island biogeography. By islands, we means not only oceanic island but also habitated island on land, such as peaks of mountains and isolated springs in the desert. The theory proposed that the number of species on any island reflects a balance between the rate at which new species colonize it, immigration, and the rate at which the population of established species becomes extinction. The rate at which the species might become extinct on the island would be related to the number that have become residents. When an island is nearly empty, the extinction rate is necessarily low because few species are available to become extinct. As more species inhabited an island, the extinction rate on the island increases because of the greater likelihood of competitive exclusion. At the same time, as the number of the species on the island increases, the immigration rate of the new species decreases. Hence, the rate at which the additional species will establish the populations will be high when the island is relatively empty, and the rate at which the resident population go extinct will be high when the island is relatively full. Over time, the countervailing force of extinction and immigration results in an equilibrium level of species richness. The equilibrium species richness of an island at which the immigration balance extinction and which remains roughly constant. The two physical features of island further affects the immigration and extinction rate: its size and its distance from the mainland. The mainland is where new immigrant species originally inhabited. The small island have a higher extinction rate as they generally contains fewer resources and less diverse habitat for colonizing species to partition. The larger habitat size reduces the probability of extinction due to chance events. The larger island contains larger habitat area and opportunity for more different varieties of habitat. The habitat heterogeneity increases the number of species that will be successful after immigration. Immigration is also affected by the distance of an island from the mainland. Distance effect. The islands that are more isolated are less likely to receive immigrants than islands that are less isolated. For two islands of equal size, an island closer to mainland generally has a higher immigration rate than one further away. Thus, the large island may ultimately have a larger equilibrium number of the species than small island because immigration rates tends to be higher and the extinction rate lower on large island. Two, the near island tends to have larger equilibrium number of species than far island because the immigration rate to near island are higher and extinction rate lower. Biogeographic classification of India. The biogeographic classification is the study of geographical distributions of organisms, that habitats, and the environmental factors that produces them. The biogeographic classification of India was done by Rodger and Panvar in 1988. Within India, the classification recognizes 10 zones divided into 26 provinces. The classification was done using the various factors such as altitude, moisture, topography, rainfall, etc. The biogeographic zones are larger distinctive unit of a similar ecology. Biome representation, community and species. Example: Himalaya and Western Ghats. Whereas the biotic provinces is the secondary unit within a zone, giving weight to community separated by the dispersal barrier or gradual changes in the environmental factors. Example: Northwest and West Himalaya, either side of the Sutlej River. The biogeographic zones of India are Trans Himalaya with the two provinces, 2 Himalaya with 4 provinces, 3 Indian desert with 2 provinces, 4 semi arid zone with 2 provinces, 5 Western Ghats with 2 provinces, 6 Deccan Peninsula with 5 provinces, Gangetic Plain with 2 provinces, coast with 3 provinces, northeast India with 2 provinces, island with 2 provinces. 1. Trans Himalaya biotic provinces, Ladakh mountains and 1A and Ladakh plateau 1B. Biome, tundra, valley, lakes and marshes. Wildlife, Chiru, black-necked cranes, Himalayan pit viper. 2. Himalaya, biotic provinces. Northwestern Himalaya 2A, Western Himalaya 2B, Central Himalaya 2C and Eastern Himalaya 2D. Biome, all alpine, temperate, conifer, temperate, broadleaf, subtropical. Wildlife, ibex and red panda. 3. Indian desert, biotic provinces Thar and Kutch. Biome, salt flats, scrublands and desert grasslands. Wildlands, wild ass, black buck, flamingo, desert monitor. 4. Semi-arid biotic provinces Punjab and Gujarat, Rajwara. Biome, scrublands, barber forest and wetland, dry deciduous hills and thorn forest. Wildlife, tiger, Asiatic lion, great Indian bustard and gharial. Western Ghats, biotic provinces Malabar Plain and Western Ghats Mountains. Biome, evergreen mountain deciduous wetlands, montane forest, grassland. Wildlife, lion-tailed macaque, Malabar civet, hornbill, draco. 6. Deccan Peninsula, biotic provinces Central Highland, Chotangpur, Eastern Plateau, Central Plateau and Southern Plateau. Biome, dry deciduous thorn forest, wetlands, subtropical and moist deciduous. Wildlife, swamp deer, cattle and elephants. Gangetic Plains, biome provinces Upper Gangetic Plains and Lower Gangetic Plains. Biome, alluvial plain and wetland rivers. Wildlife, rhino, Gangetic dolphin and nilgai. 8. Coasts, biotic provinces West Coast, East Coast and Lakshadweep. Biome, mangrove, brackish lake, lagoons, mud flats, sandy and rocky littorals. Wildlife, dugong, dolphin, tiger and sand skink. 9. Northeast India, biotic provinces, Brahmaputra Valley, Northeast Hills, Biomi, all plain grasslands, woodlands, evergreen, moist, deciduous wetlands, and rivers, subtropical temperate wildlife, pygmy hog, golden langur, yellow blacked sunbird. 10. Island. Biotic provinces Andaman and Nicobar. Biome evergreen, moist, deciduous, subtropical temperature, wetlands, and coastal habitat. Wildlife dolphins, narcondam, hornbill, and turtles.